Hi everyone. Let's practice a few advanced phrasal verbs today. A phrasal verb is generally a verb plus particle. So the first one is brush up on something. That means you work on your skill, you improve your skill. You try to remember or refresh your memory. For example, if you have to face an interview in the near future, so what do? You brush up on your skills. For example, if you are a software programmer and you have to appear for an interview. So what do? You brush up on your coding skills before the interview. So that is brush up on something. For example, today we are going to brush up on our phrasal verbs. Second, cut down on something. For example, if your diabetes is too high, your doctor will recommend cutting down on your sugar intake. If you want to save money, then you need to cut down on your expenses. Fall back on. For example, you have some reserve money, some spare money. You keep it for emergencies. For example, in some particular month, you have some extra expenses, then you can fall back on that. For example, if you have a plan A, you want to execute that plan, but what if there is a problem? So you keep your another plan B, ready. So you can fall back on that plan if plan A fails. Then fourth is get round to. That means you have the or you find the time to do something. For example, I have been meaning to write an email to somebody for quite some time, but somehow I couldn't do that. So I couldn't get round to doing that. So get round to doing something. Then fifth is keep up with something. So you stay informed or you maintain the same pace as something or someone else. So you keep up with, for example, you read newspapers, you read news magazines, or you watch some channels where latest news is available. So why do you do that? You keep up with the trend, you keep up with the things happening around you. And there is a wonderful course published by BBC. The title is Keep Up with Your English. Then sixth is look down on somebody. That means you consider someone or something inferior. For example, there are some people who are very rich and they don't like to mingle with those who are poor. So they look down on the poor, which is not a good thing. Some people who are very highly qualified, and if they meet somebody who doesn't have proper academic qualifications, then they will look down upon them, which is not a good thing. So look down on somebody. Then seventh is make up for. For example, if there is a 5 day workshop and you miss a day, then you will have to spend some extra time. You will have to put in some extra effort to make up for the loss, to compensate for what you have missed. Then turn down, to refuse or reject some offer. For example, we sent a proposal to some company for some program, but they turned it down. They rejected the offer. Then bounce back. For example, some company that didn't perform well in the recent past. So right now they are in bad shape. They might go bankrupt. That is the situation. But suppose they get a good contract, then they might bounce back. They recover from that setback. So bounce back. Then drag on. Sometimes you do certain thing for a long time. You don't really enjoy it, but you just keep dragging on. For example, sometimes there is a meeting you don't like, but you have to attend. So you feel that the meeting is dragging on for a long period of time. Then piece together. That means you have different pieces of information and you put them together. For example, if you are a detective and when you are solving a case, then you gather information from various sources and then you piece them together and then you finally solve that mystery. Then bailout. Bailout is to help someone or something so that they can come out of a difficult situation. For example, if there is a local bank and that bank is in financial trouble, so some bigger bank will provide some assistance, financial assistance, and even managerial assistance, and they might bail that bank out. Sometimes the government also bails out certain companies. Then come up with to think of or produce some ideas. For example, when there is a problem, what do? We actually have a group of people, we sit together and we present the situation, we tell everyone what the problem is, and then some people will come up with some interesting solutions. They will come up with some interesting ideas. Then run up against to to encounter some unexpected problem. For example, when you start a project, initially everything is okay, but after some time you might run up against some problem and you will have to tackle it. So I hope these 14 phrasal verbs will help you. We'll very quickly revise, brush up on something, that means to improve, you refresh your knowledge, to sharpen your skill, to cut down on means to reduce, to fall back on, to rely on something, to get round to, that means you find the time to do something. Keep up with means to stay informed, you maintain the same pace. Look down on means to consider someone or something inferior. Make up for means to compensate. To turn down means to refuse, to reject. Bounce back, to recover very quickly from a bad situation. Drag on, something which continues for a long period of time, more than required generally. Then piece together, put all the different pieces of information together so that you understand or you create something. Bailout means to help someone come out of a difficult situation, especially financially. Come up with, you think or produce some idea, some solution. And run up against, you encounter, you face some difficult situation or some kind of opposition. So all the best, enjoy your study, thank you very much.